hear that in context with the drums. And if you're wondering why I like adding this ducking to the group so much, it's because it really gives every sound some space to breathe. You can hear the drums and the bass and everything so much more clearly, and stuff isn't being cluttered because it's all playing on top of each other at the same time. And for our last effect on the bass group, we're going to add on another third-party plugin. We're going to be adding on Data Life's Sausage Fattener. Now this is a plugin that some people look at as being sort of a joke, and with the little cartoon sausage, it's not hard to see why. But I actually use this plugin very frequently, and when used subtly and in small doses like how I'm going to show you now, it's actually very effective, and it can take a lot of the hassle and work out of getting a good mix down. What you might spend hours on with compression plugins you can get very quickly by adding just a little bit of Sausage Fattener. Let's solo the bass group again, and we're going to listen to it, and while we listen to it, we'll tweak with the fatness knob and see if we get a sound we like. "19% sounds really good. We're not getting an overly distorted and obnoxious sound, but it's more warm and in your face, and it works super well." And that's all for the bass group. Before we move on to our leads group, one subtle thing that I want to show you that I sadly didn't get the chance to, this is a very cool thing you can do with your dubstep songs, is to take basses that you use in the drop and then incorporate them in a very subtle way during the verses. We'll listen to verse 1 again. This time now we've got some more effects processing on, and let's see if you notice anything. If you were listening closely, you probably heard that there's actually a growl sound going on in the verse. I have growl 1 playing at a more quiet volume, and I added some heavier reverb onto the sound. Another thing that I feel is worth mentioning, I also added the reverb to that growl that I use as a transitional sound between the verse and the breakdown. I added some heavier decay time, and I had the dry wet turn up, as you can see right here. And I actually had the volume of this growl turned down during this transitional section, and I had it turned back up during the drop. You might want to experiment with having the volume fluctuate like this, because in a part of the song where there's different elements going on, a bass might seem like it's at the perfect volume, but then when you move it over to a part of the song where there's not much going on, suddenly it might seem overly loud. Let's move on to our leads. Put this down to minus 3.0. And the first effect we're going to add is more of a musical element rather than a mixdown element, but I couldn't really do it effectively before I added the sounds into the groups, so we'll add it now. We're going to add a frequency shifter, and this is a very cool way to create tension with build-ups for your song, and it can take some effort out of making a lot of rising synths, because with the frequency shifter, it makes the sound go up or down depending on where you put the hertz at, and it gives it sort of a weird, nasty sound that might not work well on other parts of the song, but for the build-up sound really great. We're going to go to our first breakdown slash build-up, highlight the course of frequency shifter, and let's drag that up. Just put that at about 2.24. Doesn't really matter as long as it's going up in some way. Now we'll take the dry wet. We'll have it go up to 100% just before the vocal sample comes in. And seeing how we don't want the leads to sound nasty throughout the whole song, we'll go just before the drop and turn the dry wet back down to 0%. And now we'll take this and copy it, and we'll put it at the second breakdown. And there we go. That's a really great way to make build-ups.